here likes bacon? Well, the average American consumes 18 pounds of bacon per year. Therefore, I think it's safe to say that Americans as a whole really like their bacon, as well as other pork products. Well, there is a virus that causes a threat to the supply and access we could have to these products. My name is Jaden Werth, and I am a student at Kansas State University, where I am working towards my bachelor's in animal sciences and industry, with a focus on production and management. I grew up raising swine and have an interest in the pork industry. Therefore, I want to work towards ensuring that this virus doesn't cause a halt in the production of pork in the United States. The African swine fever hasn't yet made its way to the US, but if we don't better understand the virus and what measures need to be taken to prevent it from spreading, it could have a large negative impact on the industry as a whole and our economy. Today, I will go over the symptoms of African swine fever, how it spreads, and what we can do to prevent it from spreading. The symptoms are abortion, decreased appetite, diarrhea, high fever, respiratory illness. The skin can become reddened, blotchy, or even have blackened lesions, and the pigs become weaker. Some more information, death usually occurs 7 to 10 days after the pigs come in contact with the virus. Survivors of the virus can become carriers and therefore spread to the surrounding pigs. However, this virus is not zoonotic, therefore it cannot be transferred to humans. So how does ASF spread? Here's a quick diagram of the different ways it can spread within domesticated pigs, therefore be transferred to wild boars, and how they can spread it throughout their environments. The main pathways of transmission of this virus are consumption of contaminated feed, direct contact with another pig, genetic material, slurry, tick bites, vehicles and other fomites, and workers and visitors. Consumption of contaminated feed. An example would be swill feeding, which is the feeding of waste products to pigs. Therefore, the product from a pig that had the virus could be fed to pigs who haven't come in contact with it yet, but now they have. Direct contact, which is the primary route of transmission. This can happen through saliva, nasal discharge, or the virus can be shed through urine, feces, and semen. Genetic material, again, semen and genital secretions. However, research so far has shown that a pregnant sow does not transfer the virus to her piglets before they are born. Slurry, which is, say, the chips you have your pigs on, and then their feces and urine are mixed in with these chips. A lot of farms will disperse of the slurry over farmland or other agricultural land, and therefore wild boars could come in contact with it, so we need to make sure we dispose of it properly. Tick bites. Ticks are huge carriers of this disease, as they can live for a very long amount of time. Therefore, previously infected areas can still have the virus if ticks are still there. Say 4 years after all pigs that were infected have been removed, if you bring in new pigs and haven't completely isolated this area or destroyed it, the ticks that have the virus could still be there and therefore will spread it to the new pigs. Vehicles and other fomites, clothing, footwear, surgical equipment, all of these things really need to be cleaned thoroughly and disinfected, as the virus has an ability to survive for a long time on these materials. Workers and visitors. A farm should know about their previous whereabouts. If they were at another pig farm previously, they shouldn't be allowed on your farm right away, as they could bring the disease. Also, farms usually provide clothing, as they have a shower in, shower out process, which is where you shower in and they give you clothing, and then when you leave, you shower out and remove the clothing they gave you. This helps prevent people from bringing in the virus or other diseases to an operation, and also prevents them from leaving with anything that's already in this operation. Some other things to consider are how farms dispose of their carcasses, the introduction of new pigs into a herd, natural mating, pig markets, which if you have a bunch of farms bringing in their pigs and mixing them with one another, can easily spread the virus. And then physical isolation of the herd. You want to have isolation of domesticated pigs versus wild pigs, and also from farm to farm, you really want them to have proper barriers. So now prevention. This table just shows how quickly the virus can spread. As you see, the number of cases and number of outbreaks rapidly increased from year to year. Biosecurity is a major part of preventing the spread of this virus. The clean shower in and out areas is very important. Again, disinfection of equipment and vehicles, especially if they're going from one farm to another. And again, proper barriers. Most farms will require that any workers that have went to another farm cannot return to work for at least 48 hours. Some new discoveries. There's a rapid detection, which is a paper-based assay. This is used for field detection of the virus. It also helps with surveillance and control of the virus, as you no longer have to use tools and equipment that, if they aren't properly cleaned, could spread the virus. And when it comes to finding a vaccine, China has come up with a vaccine. However, it is not for the strand of the virus that is currently going around. The American Society for Microbiology has come up with another vaccine and have tested it at both low and high doses, and both have been effective. However, they don't see the vaccine being used commercially for several years. Now you're more educated on the symptoms of ASF and how it is spread and how we can prevent it from spreading further. Again, we don't want to possibly lessen our availability of bacon and any other pork products, so we need to really focus on the information that was provided in this presentation. And if you would like any further references to check out to further look into a certain topic, here are some references and some more.